Hey everyone, David Burgess here with Keller Realty, back today for another video, and today we are doing a market update on the Tampa Bay area as well as Bradenton and Sarasota too. And I've finally got some stats for you that are really reflect COVID over the last 3 months. If you saw my previous video back in April, COVID had broken out. It was 2 to 3 weeks into it, and I was really just giving you my take on the market so far, how I thought things were going to go. And now 3 months on, we finally got some kind of numbers and stats to really show you what's going on out there. So stick around for the next 5 or 10 minutes. We're talking about all things real estate. It is absolutely roasting out here right now, so bear with me, and hopefully you'll get a much better insight after this. Okay, so what's life like in Florida at the moment? Well, we're still very busy. You know, things really have just got busier and busier week on week. And we haven't had a slowdown whatsoever in terms of business. We probably had like a few days of uncertainty in around March. But other than that, there's still a huge demand for Florida real estate. And these numbers that I'm going to show you in a second really do back that up. Interest rates are crazily low at the moment. You know, I was working with a buyer this week at 2.875%. That is just so low, and inventory's low. I'm gonna touch on inventory after I go through these stats with you. At the moment, I cannot emphasize enough how low inventory is right now, and it is having an impact on the market. So if you're a seller, that is absolutely awesome, but if you're on the buyer end, it's not so easy if you're looking for a very specific type of home. So far this year, we've had 6 homes get under contract that are via video walkthroughs solely, where we've had buyers that are out of state, want us to go and see a home. My wife and I will go there, we'll do a video, and they're like, yeah, make an offer, move forward on it. So we've probably had one of those before in the 6 or 7 years I've been doing Florida real estate. But to have 6 in the last 3 or 4 months, that is just insane. It really does show you how much faith and confidence there is in the market, and people aren't letting those limitations get the better of them if they're wanting to buy here or they have to relocate here. So yeah, obviously it's a little bit nervy from my side of point of view, because the buyers haven't seen the home, and then when they do fly in and there's a final walkthrough, you're always a little bit like, is it how you thought it was, kind of thing. But we're doing everything we can, and obviously, you know, buyers can see so much online with Google Street View and all the data analysis they can grab. So really, it's just a case of us doing our due diligence for the home, making sure it's in the right condition, and yeah, all that good stuff. But personally, you know, I know it's not ideal not seeing the house before you buy it, but look, it's happening a lot at the moment. So yeah, other than that, you know, we've got 9 homes that are being built in 2021 already. For like January, February, March already, we're having homes that are under construction with builders, which is probably the best start to the following year that we've had. So it goes to show that, you know, there really is a lot of faith, even during the election that's going to be going on between that build process, that people still want to be here. They still have a lot of faith in the market. With interest rates being so low, it's still a very good time to buy. If you are very COVID conscious, then, you know, things, you know, we're doing what we can still, social distancing. You know, we're obviously not shaking hands. We're, you know, wearing gloves and masks and booties and all that while we, you know, when we can. So yeah, sellers are taking a lot of precautions, supplying masks. You know, there's a lot of hand sanitizer, all that good stuff. You know the drill by now. It's absolutely everywhere, but we're not letting it get in the way of life and you know, the goals and achievements we're all trying to accomplish. So I hope these stats and numbers kind of back up what I'm saying. You know, the last video I did, there was a couple of comments where people were like, oh yeah, you know, you're just deceiving us. And I'm like, look, I'm telling you what's going on right now. And in these statistics that I'm going to show you, going from Tampa right the way down to Sarasota, really do back that up. And what you will see is obviously house numbers dropping, but the actual price, you know, the actual values of home, they're still increasing month on month, year on year, which is really good to see. So, right, let's move on into these stats. Okay, so let's start with Tampa Bay. Now, we're in the Greater Tampa Association of Realtors. This is covering, you know, Pinellas, Pasco and Hillsborough counties. And looking at month on month, when I did my previous video, I didn't have any stats for April. And the number of homes as a percentage of sales that dropped in April was 19.9%. So that's saying that in April 2019, you know, there was 20% more sales this time last year in April than what there was in this April in 2020. 19.9% down. We then moved on to May in 2020 and we were 29% down year on year. So the previous May, there was nearly 30% more in terms of real estate sold. Now, what's absolutely fascinating is that moving into June year on year, we're actually up 6.75%. So if you look at June 2019, there was 6.75% homes sold last year than what there is this year. In a global pandemic, that is absolutely crazy. And in the change year to date overall, because we were up in January, February and March year on year and just took those drops in April and May, and overall we're actually only down 5% you know, as a year on year, which again, you know, with everything that's gone on so far this year, that is really incredible numbers. So this time last year in Tampa, we'd sold 18,525 homes, and then this year to date we've sold 17,587. So really interesting statistics. And then right now, the average list price in Tampa Bay is $329,880. And the actual sales price of that is 98% of the asking price. So that is $323,133. And the average days on the market is just 59. So that is the report for June the 1st to June the 30th, 2020. And as you can see right at the end there, months supply of inventory, 1.6 months. That is unbelievably low. That is basically saying that if no more homes hit the market moving forward, it would take 1.6 months to sell everything that is out there right now. That really is. If you look at the previous months, well, you'll be able to see that in a second, the kind of previous months. That is so low, and one of the lowest we've seen in a really long time. And then, you know, if you look at the year from January the 1st to June the 30th, overall, homes are still selling for 98% of the asking price. Of course, as my job as a realtor is to always make sure the asking price is right. But, you know, right now in Tampa Bay, year to date, the average list price, $360,360, and the average sale price, $298,865, 98%. And that's 61 days, which is the average on the market. And that, you know, the inventory there, 2 months supply of inventory as an average, which is just so low. And then moving on to the next part of this, which is the sales, which is really important. If you look at the average sale price in June, $323,133, up on last year from $299,045. So during a global pandemic, you can see that the average sales price now is significantly higher than what it was last year. And that's not just in June. If you back up and you look at May, 303,000 compared to 280,397. And if you look at April, 296,373 against 270,941. That is a really healthy increase year on year from last year, and I can assure you that it is only gonna increase as we continue through this year. Moving on to Sarasota and the Manatee area, you can see that we've gone from minus 29. We've gone down 29% year on year from April 2019 to 2020, similar to Tampa Bay. A bigger drop in May year on year, going down 45%, and then June has gone down by 9%. So Tampa Bay looking healthier, although what I would say is, as you can see on the next page, as we're moving on, the average sales price is a lot higher, over 100,000 more in Sarasota and Manatee, and there is a lot more homes that are in the luxury market. If you look, for example, if we look at the inventory of a home that is over $1 million in Sarasota, there is 762 units. And that's from condos to townhouses to single family homes, and there is over 50% less in Tampa at 344. So there is a bit, with house prices being higher, naturally it's going to take longer for some of those homes to sell. But looking at the numbers in here again, 420,000 is the average list price, and 401, just under 402,000 is the sales price. That is a 96% of the list price, and average days on the market is 74 days. Inventory is a little bit more down there, but like I said, there is a lot more homes in that luxury market. And then again, looking at year on year, right now the average sale price 408,483. Compare that to June last year, 376, 451. Look at May, year on year, 378 against 388. In fact, that is the only difference where you can see that there's a dip there. And then if you go to April, you can see that it was 393 against 389. So there hasn't been, the numbers are a little bit different in Sarasota and Manatee. But like I said, there are inventory homes there that are a lot higher values. And of course, keep in mind that HOAs, property taxes and CDD fees are higher than what Tampa Bay is. So yeah, two totally different markets, but yeah, very, very interesting reading. And you can see both of those links if you want to take a deeper look at them. They are in the information right below. So I hope that made really good reading. Now, one other thing I really wanted to touch on was inventory. Inventory is so low right now with specific homes. Most of the people that call me are looking for, I saw that golf cart just go right by then. Most of the people that call me are looking for a newer home with a pool. And where that price point is, and what area, and what type of home, in terms of the style of it and the location. A lot of people say to me, we're looking for a newer home with a pool. So I've got some inventory stats here, just to show you that even if you go back to 2010, if we consider 2010 a newer home, how many homes do you think are in Wesley Chapel right now, 2010, with a pool under 500,000? The 500,000 is higher than the list price, which are just, the average list price in Tampa Bay right now. Right now, there are five homes in Wesley Chapel with a pool that were built 2010 plus. Now, obviously, if you go back further than 2010, you're going to have more, but that is such a low amount. You've got a home there, I'm looking at homes here. You've got one built in 2012, one in 2016, 117, 118, 119. And they all range from 420 to 500,000. That's Wesley Chapel, okay? Riverview is about 15% lower than in sales price than Wesley Chapel, okay? So you're thinking, there's going to be more homes in Riverview with a pool. Again, 2010 plus with a pool. There are 2 homes right now in the whole of Riverview that are built 2010 plus with a pool under 500,000. Crazy, absolutely crazy. If we move further south into Bradenton, we have 13. Now, again, keep in mind that these are all sizes. These aren't like at a specific size. This is going from like small homes right the way up to bigger homes at 500,000 or less. There are 13. And I think the reason there are more there is, again, we are tapping into the nicer communities that have a lot more amenities, and they're on golf courses and they have higher fees. Some of them are in flood zones, that kind of thing. So that's why you've got a bit more on the market down in Bradenton. But same criteria in Lakewood Ranch. 5. There are 5 homes under 500,000, 2010 plus with a pool. Sarasota has 9. But again, very similar to Bradenton, you are going to have those nicer communities where the fees are higher. So just going to show you how low inventory is right now. Again, if you want a pool, do what I did, add one. Find a home that has a really nice view, has the things you're looking for in a home. An older home isn't a problem. but you know, just make sure that the other homes around it, you know, they actually justify the value of adding a pool, and that the comps will support that price. But you know, the benefit to adding a pool yourself as opposed to going through a builder, just a reminder if you haven't seen my previous video, is you can put a much less down on the home, on the pool, as opposed to going through a builder where they want 25 or 50% up front, and they've done a markup on the pool anyway. Yes, it's a pain. The construction process is a pain, but I promise you, when it's sweltering hot like this is in July right now, it's so nice having a pool. So I hope this was helpful. Just really wanted to give you some stats and just back up what I was saying in April. I hope this was helpful. If you're still looking to be here, I've got a few people that have really postponed lately that are still a little bit concerned about COVID. They're concerned about the spike. I totally get it. I've had a few postponements in July, whereas in May and June everybody was coming down. So this is hence one of the reasons I'm doing this video now, is because I've actually got a bit more free time than what I had in May and June. So August, you know, people are trying to come down here in August, but again, they're kind of a little bit tentative plans, you know, a little bit unsure how things are. But I promise you, it's going to be very similar to where you're coming from. Things are, you know, a lot of precautions. But listen, some people are more concerned than others. I totally get it. But anyway, I hope that was informative. And as always, if I can help and you want to work with me directly, or me and my wife directly, should I say, I still cannot get her on a video. I'm trying. I promise you, one day she will appear right next to me, I promise. But anyway, reach out in the comments below if this was helpful. If you please like this video and subscribe, it's always appreciated. And like I said, all these stats I've got here, they'll be in the description below. Thanks so much, and as always, call me, all my information, contact information, Facebook, email, I'm all there for if you want to reach out. Thanks again.